Volcanoes are among the most powerful forces of nature on Earth. While many volcanoes are simply beautiful natural wonders, some have the potential to reshape the planet as we know it. Today, we'll be looking at 5 supervolcanoes you should worry about in 2024, giants that, if they were to erupt, could trigger worldwide disasters. The Yellowstone Caldera, nestled in the heart of the United States, is one of the most well-known supervolcanoes on Earth. Spanning an area of approximately 30 miles by 45 miles, this massive volcanic system is capable of spewing out enough ash to cover large parts of North America. The caldera itself is a result of 3 cataclysmic eruptions over the past 2.1 million years. While an eruption is not imminent, the constant geothermal activity, including geysers and hot springs, signals that Yellowstone is still very much alive. The ground beneath Yellowstone is a cauldron of molten rock, seething and bubbling just a few miles below the surface. This geothermal activity is a stark reminder of the raw power that lies beneath our feet. Scientists are constantly keeping an eye on Yellowstone, using a network of seismographs and GPS instruments to monitor the ground for signs of movement. They study the patterns of earthquakes and the rise and fall of the ground, looking for any indication that magma is on the move. While the eruption cycle could be hundreds of thousands of years away, the potential for a catastrophic eruption is ever present. The last major eruption at Yellowstone occurred approximately 640,000 years ago, creating the current caldera and spewing vast amounts of ash into the atmosphere. Such an eruption today would have devastating consequences not just for the United States but for the entire world. The ash cloud could block out the sun, leading to a volcanic winter that could last for years, disrupting agriculture and causing widespread famine. Despite the potential dangers, Yellowstone remains a place of incredible natural beauty, attracting millions of visitors each year. The geysers, hot springs, and wildlife make it one of the most popular national parks in the United States. But beneath this serene landscape lies a ticking time bomb, a reminder of the powerful forces that shape our planet. The Tonga-Kermadec Volcanic Arc, stretching from New Zealand to Tonga, is one of the most active volcanic regions on the planet. This volcanic arc is located along the boundary of the Pacific and Indo-Australian tectonic plates, making it highly unstable. The constant movement of these plates creates a zone of intense volcanic and seismic activity. If a supervolcanic eruption were to occur here, it could cause tsunamis and throw massive amounts of ash into the atmosphere, disrupting global climate patterns. The eruption in 2022, while significant, was a smaller event compared to the potential of a supervolcanic eruption. The geological history of this region suggests the potential for far more devastating eruptions. Scientists study the layers of volcanic rock and ash deposited by past eruptions to understand the history and potential future activity of the Tonga-Kermadec Volcanic Arc. These layers tell a story of powerful eruptions that have shaped the landscape and affected the climate over millennia. The islands of Tonga and the Kermadec Islands are home to some of the most active and dangerous volcanoes in the world. The constant threat of eruptions and tsunamis makes this region a focal point for volcanic research and monitoring. Monitoring the volcanic activity in this region is a complex and challenging task. Scientists use a combination of satellite imagery, seismographs, and field observations to track changes in the volcanic landscape. They look for signs of magma movement, gas emissions, and ground deformation, which could indicate an impending eruption. The eruption of an underwater volcano in this region could have far-reaching consequences. The ash and gases released into the atmosphere could affect global weather patterns, leading to cooler temperatures and disrupted rainfall. The tsunamis generated by such an eruption could devastate coastal communities across the Pacific. The Tonga-Kermadec Volcanic Arc is a reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our planet. The forces at work here are a testament to the power of tectonic activity and the constant reshaping of the Earth's surface. Chapter 3. Lake Taupo. Lake Taupo, located in the heart of New Zealand's North Island, is the site of one of the most powerful supervolcanic eruptions in the last 5,000 years. This massive caldera, now filled with water, was formed by a cataclysmic eruption that ejected vast amounts of volcanic material into the atmosphere. The eruption that created Lake Taupo was so intense that it produced one of the largest known eruptions in recent geological history. The ash fallout from this eruption reached as far as China, affecting the climate and environment across the globe. The sheer scale of this event is a stark reminder of the power of supervolcanoes. With millions of people living in and around New Zealand, scientists continue to monitor volcanic activity in the region. They study the layers of volcanic rock and ash deposits to understand the history of eruptions and the potential for future activity. Small tremors and minor eruptions are closely watched as they could signal a future eruption. The geothermal activity around Lake Taupo is a constant reminder of the volcanic forces at work beneath the surface. Hot springs, geysers, and fumaroles dot the landscape, providing a glimpse into the dynamic and ever-changing nature of this volcanic system. Monitoring the volcanic activity around Lake Taupo is a complex and ongoing task. Scientists use a combination of seismographs, GPS instruments, and satellite imagery to track changes in the ground and detect signs of magma movement. They also study gas emissions and thermal activity to gain insights into the state of the volcanic system. Despite the potential dangers, Lake Taupo is a popular destination for tourists and locals alike. The serene waters and stunning scenery make it a favorite spot for boating, fishing, and other recreational activities. Chapter 4. Campi Flegrei. Campi Flegrei, located near the bustling city of Naples in Italy, is one of the most dangerous supervolcanoes in Europe. This massive caldera, formed by a series of powerful eruptions, is a hotbed of volcanic activity. Recent seismic activity has raised concerns, as the ground around the caldera has been slowly rising, a possible sign of magma moving underneath. The ground uplift, known as bradyseism, is a phenomenon that has been observed in the Campi Flegrei region for centuries. This slow and steady rise of the ground is caused by the movement of magma beneath the surface, creating pressure that lifts the land. While this activity is not an immediate sign of an impending eruption, it is a clear indication that the volcanic system is active. With Naples being one of the most densely populated areas in Europe, an eruption here could lead to massive loss of life and widespread destruction. The economic impact on the region would be devastating, with the potential to disrupt industries, tourism, and daily life for millions of people. The history of Campi Flegrei is marked by powerful eruptions that have shaped the landscape and affected the climate. The most recent major eruption occurred around 39,000 years ago, creating the caldera and spewing vast amounts of ash into the atmosphere. This eruption had far-reaching effects, contributing to a period of global cooling. Monitoring the volcanic activity at Campi Flegrei is a top priority for scientists. They use a combination of seismographs, GPS instruments, and gas analyzers to track changes in the ground and detect signs of magma movement. The data collected helps scientists understand the behavior of the volcanic system and assess the risk of an eruption. The geothermal activity in the Campi Flegrei region is a constant reminder of the volcanic forces at work. Hot springs, fumaroles, and steam vents dot the landscape, providing a glimpse into the dynamic nature of this volcanic system. Chapter 5. Mount Tambora. Mount Tambora, located on the island of Sumbawa in Indonesia, is infamous for its catastrophic eruption in 1815. This eruption is considered one of the most powerful in recorded history, with devastating effects that were felt around the world. The eruption caused a year without a summer, leading to crop failures, food shortages, and widespread famine. While Tambora has been quiet for nearly 200 years, scientists are always on alert, watching for signs of reawakening. The potential for another large eruption is ever present, and the consequences could once again disrupt global agriculture, potentially leading to food shortages and economic collapse worldwide. The 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora ejected an estimated 160 cubic kilometers of volcanic material into the atmosphere, creating a massive caldera and altering the landscape. The ash and gases released into the atmosphere had a profound impact on the global climate, leading to cooler temperatures and disrupted weather patterns. Despite the potential dangers, the region around Mount Tambora is home to vibrant communities and lush vegetation. The fertile volcanic soil supports agriculture, providing livelihoods for thousands of people. However, the memory of the 1815 eruption is a constant reminder of the power of this supervolcano. Monitoring the volcanic activity at Mount Tambora is a critical task for scientists. They use a combination of seismographs, gas analyzers, and satellite imagery to track changes in the ground and detect signs of magma movement. The data collected helps scientists understand the behavior of the volcanic system and assess the risk of an eruption. The caldera of Mount Tambora is a stark reminder of the destructive power of supervolcanoes. The sheer scale of the eruption that created it is a testament to the forces at work beneath the Earth's surface. Outro: the importance of vigilance. As we've seen, these 5 supervolcanoes represent a ticking time bomb that could have catastrophic effects on humanity. While it's important to remember that these eruptions are not imminent, the potential for devastation means we need to continue studying and preparing for the possibility of future eruptions. Fortunately, modern science gives us the tools to monitor these volcanoes, and while we may not be able to stop an eruption, we can take steps to mitigate the damage and save lives. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on Earth's most extreme forces of nature.